What is going on, my Houston Texans family? We are officially in the single digits. We are 9 days away from the 2025 NFL Draft, where the Houston Texans hold the 25th overall pick, and no one knows what the hell they're going to do. I've seen offensive linemen, I've seen wide receiver, I've seen tight end, I've seen defensive tackle mock drafted to the Houston Texans, but we are going to revisit who the Houston Texans had a top 30 visit with and read their draft profile. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, me, Athletically Declined, and Dave and Buster's are hosting a watch party at the Dave and Buster's Houston location. There's going to be prizes, giveaways, celebrity guest appearances, guests throughout the show. If you guys saw my interview where I asked Houston rapper Paul Wall, when the Houston Texans win a Super Bowl, what song is going to unite the city of Houston, and he said, "Want to be a baller," that was at a Dave and Buster's event. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to be your go-to stop for watch parties where all Houston Texan fans can get together and enjoy this team. With that being said, let's continue with the top 30 visits. My name is Ruben Calvillo. This is the 713 Houston Sportcast, where I drop daily Houston Texans content. So please make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first player we're going to be taking a look at is Tyler Booker, guard from the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Tyler Booker, um, in the beginning of this mock draft, right, of the mock draft season, of the draft season, was projected to be at 25 for the Houston Texans. Then, as the days went on, his name started to fall towards the second round, but now after the combine, after the pro day, he sneaked back up, and Tyler Booker is considered a first round pick, but a pick that is going to land somewhere between 13 and the 20s. So he might be in the Houston Texans range. Here's what PFS has to say. Tyler Booker, if you're looking for a sturdy anchor at guard who can dish out punishment as well as he can absorb it, Tyler Booker is your guy. With a low center of gravity and a thick, well proportioned frame, Booker is very tough to move at the point of attack. His powerful lower half helps him neutralize power rushes along the interior, and his flexibility helps him maximize his power. Booker won't necessarily wow you in space, though he did look a bit quicker after he lost weight before the 2024 season. His hand placement needs work, though there's a lot in his game elsewhere, given his coordination, his length at guard, his IQ and stunt vision, and his power in a phone booth. Booker could end up being selected in the middle of the first round. He'll likely won't be targeted by wide zone teams, but he has the making of a quality long-term starter in power, gap, and inside zone looks. Tyler Booker has met with the Houston Texans, a top 30 visit, and it would not shock me if he is selected with the 25th overall pick in this draft. And I will say this, it would not shock me if we might see a trade up for Tyler Booker. Offensive line is a big need for the Houston Texans, and having your future guard locked up is something that I wouldn't mind having. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tyler Booker met with the Houston Texans, had a top 30 visit. Now, another player that has had a top 30 visit with the Houston Texans, Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle out of Florida State. He stands at 6'3", 305 pounds, and a RAS score of 7.89. Joshua Farmer is a disruptive and high motor defensive lineman with a strong blend of power and athleticism. He plays with excellent leverage and hand technique, allowing him to shed blockers and disrupt plays in the backfield. Farmer's quick first step and ability to generate push make him a force in both pass rushing situations and run defense. He has the versatility to line up in multiple spots along the defensive front, adding to his value. However, improving his consistency in play recognition and block disengagement will help take him to the next step. His effort and physicality make him a key defensive asset. You guys heard me say the defensive tackle spot, the only area that you need to focus on with it is youth. And Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, I mean, he's projected to go in the, third, fourth rounds. I don't think he makes it to the fifth. Does D'Amico Ryans get himself a young defensive tackle in this draft to add on to his already Super Bowl caliber defense? I will not be mad at it whatsoever. Uh, the defensive tackle spot, you have your veterans, you have Sheldon Rankins, you have Tim Settle Jr. Um, who did we just restructure his contract and we signed last year? The defensive tackle out of Tennessee, Danico Autry, he is still there. So, you got pretty much your starters right now, and you could work in Joshua Farmer, let him get comfortable, let him get in a rhythm, and maybe towards the end of the season, we start seeing him play more. With that being said, the Houston Texans had a top 30 visit with Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle out of Florida State. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, another player that had a top 30 visit with the Houston Texans, someone who we have not discussed, Brashard Smith, running back out of SMU, 5'9", 194 pounds, a RAS score of 7.21. Smith is a receiver turned running back who put together a productive year to help SMU reach the college football playoffs. The explosive athlete who can change direction with ease at high speeds, dynamic runner between the tackles who can find open lanes, press gaps, and get the second and third levels of a defense, has the speed and explosion to beat linebackers and defensive backs to the spot and turn the corner. A dangerous special teams presence who has been returning kicks all 4 years of college, averaging a robust 29 yards per return in 2023 with 579 total kick return yards, both led to the ACC. Doesn't have a thick lower half and is just okay running off contact and breaking tackles. Sorry for Odie. Below average ball security, has fumbled on nearly 2% of his rushing attempts. It's not good. Has only 1 year of starting experience as a running back in college, will face questions on whether he can handle an RB1 workload. Solid pass catching running back who can create big plays within space, has natural hands and a very good feel for route running. I mean, Brashard Smith is, projected to be a late round draft pick, and a late round draft pick that I wouldn't mind whatsoever on this Houston Texans team. Sounds like a bit of a project. We're not asking Brashard Smith to start right away. We know Joe Mixon for at least 1 year is your starting running back, maybe 1.5 until a new young running back starts to take over. But for sure, for at least 2 years, Joe Mixon is here. During that time, Brashard Smith could get it going, find the feel for being a running back, and hey, making some good plays for this Houston Texans team. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was some of the players that the Houston Texans had a top 30 visit with. Read you the draft profiles. You guys let me know your thoughts and comments down below. For more Houston Texans content, feel free to follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.